Hello. Good evening, guys. And for those of you guys in attendance, though, thank you guys for tuning in, though, to our FT podcast episode. And basically, at this point, though, our podcast might be FT in your books, but we're here to talk about all things considered anime and/or video games. But the fact that we're going to be providing a lot of good content for you guys, let's kick off with the show. For those of you guys in attendance, though, at least don't want to get spoiled or anything else, though, whatever we're going to be talking about, or at least the fact that it's going to be on YouTube later on down the week. So please tune in and look accordingly to that. As your host, I like to introduce myself. I go by the name of Kazo. I like to watch a little bit of anime and video games in between, but I've been busy a lot aside from work. But not only the fact that I've been also playing video games such as Rainbow Six and Guilty Gear Strive, which I'm not getting paid to say this, but yo, you like anime, you like rock, and fighting games at the same time? Put it all together, and there you go. You have a connection waiting to happen, and yo, Strive is the way to go, my guys. I'm just telling you right now. To the right of my screen, we have a man of many talents. He shares his love for anime and video games, such as the FIFA football series. Please give a warm welcome to our besto friendo, Thicc Churro.
All right, let's get it out of the way right now. FIFA.
Is it really FIFA?
You know that series died out for me like a while ago.
Oh man.
I think I played like 10, and then I didn't buy it up until 18, and then the whole yearly releases scam. Like, it's just a scam, man.
Was it between like FIFA or like Pro Evolution Soccer, or is the one for you?
I feel like you own one game, you're good for like the next decade.
Yeah, fair. And next, coming up from a classified location, we have Bad Rice. The mystery being we'll never know, or the fact he'll never tell us, because we expect that we'll never find him anywhere. Say hi to the viewers for us. All right.
That's how it's going.
Just like that. And saving the best for last, we have the ultimate Ghost of Tsushima fan and the man that can destroy any monster in his sights in Conan Exiles, and also MTG local champion, and also a man of culture of anime. Yeah, he has a lot of resume and a lot of skills in his resume right there. Yeah, man, tell you, man. But yeah, introduce yourself.
I'm Offbeat Hero. Glad to be back. Missed last week, but you couldn't get rid of me. And we're here. We're bigger. We're better than ever. We're 1080p HD 3D Ultra Turbo over here.
Ooh, I like that.
The Street Fighter.
And now, at this point, I will be passing up the torch to our moderator, Offbeat Hero, to take us away. Let's do it.
So we got a couple topics today. We're going to go through some current events, some current highlights. And the first thing that we're going to talk about is the sensation that's almost swept the nation, but has a ticking time bomb inside it. Maybe it is the Pokemon Unite, which is a League of Legends ripoff that just slaps Pokemon characters over the existing champions, and then there's like some hoop dunking or some basketball element to it. I don't know. You're dunking in hoops or some bullshit. You're fighting other Pokemon. You're catching Pokeballs. You're getting points, and apparently it's pay to win. So I did a bit of research on this before we started the podcast, because I heard bits about this game, but I kind of just like shelved it. I was like, whatever. It's just another game, just trying to milk it for some money,
Right.
Yeah. But it is essentially a MOBA. You got your two teams. You got a roster of characters. Characters have a collection of abilities. You fight for control of a map. Some differences is that this game is timed. When you're playing League of Legends, sometimes you're in there for 40 minutes to an hour. You don't know how long it's going to be. If it's a really close game, or if both teams just suck real bad, it might go for like an hour 20, hour 30 minutes. Like,
no way. Can't be that.
Yeah.
No.
I've seen it. It. It's brutal. It sucks. You don't want to be there.
We've been in it, Derek.
We've been in it.
We played like one game that just like we would clutch and we would just go for the fucking nexus, and it would just be like one player just 1v5s us, and then they're on their way to kill our base, and then we just barely spawn to stop them, and it just keeps going back and forth,
Yeah.
and it's just
Oh
like
my
a good like hour.
Yeah,
Us playing
it's
that in
way
raid.
too long. But Pokemon Unite, 10 minutes cap. You know, the game goes for 10 minutes at the max. You know, teams can always surrender before that point. But yeah, it's got, you know, a cast of recognizable characters. You know, you got your class like Pikachu and Snorlax and shit, and then you got some more obscure ones like Absol and I don't know, some rabbit ass motherfucker. These new Pokemon I don't know shit about. But the pay to win aspect apparently comes up to before the game starts. I guess you can give your Pokemon 3 items to hold, or I guess you're holding them. I don't know who's holding them. They just give your Pokemon passive stat boosts and you know, extra attack damage, extra attack speed. You know, general random shit. But it's always some sort of percent boost or flat boost. Think like if for those that play League or that played League back in the day, basically runes. You know, just some flat boost that you get very good in the game. And
Kinda like
kind
more like items actually at this point.
Okay.
kind of like runes, kind of like items. I mean,
yeah.
you get them at these start of the game, get to the entire match. But you can also upgrade these items so that their boosts are better, right? You go from like 1% to 2% or some bullshit. And so you can upgrade them by either earning the currency by playing the game, or you just buy the currency and then upgrade the item with real money, basically. And that is what the people are talking about. Because I mean, either you can dump like 100 hours and upgrade 1 item, or you can up $100 and upgrade 2 items in a fraction of that time.
Can you actually can you like evolve just like Pokemon, or I mean like usual Pokemon?
Yeah, I think some Pokemon if you pick like Charmander or whatever over the course of the match, you'll like evolve into Charmeleon and then Charizard by the end of it.
Okay.
It's pretty cool. And of course, if you pick like a Pokemon with like no evolutions, it just like stays that Pokemon like the entire match.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's the game. Let's hear some thoughts. Churro, what do you think? Is the pay to win?
Dude, the pay to win is
the water? Is
it
it gross?
It is absolutely disgusting. Like it is gross. It is predatory, and like in Pokemon, Nintendo is like a children's game, right? Like I think last week or the week before that, I don't know, I can't remember. But we were talking about how Nintendo usually doesn't make the most like financial, whatever decisions, right? Like it doesn't have finances like as a number one, right?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Which is like, you know, totally respect Nintendo for that, but and then they drop like, well, I guess Nintendo isn't really in charge of Pokemon, right? But to allow Pokemon to have this kind of monetization is actually like it's disgusting. It's ridiculous. The items that the Pokemon hold are incredibly overpowered. If you spend money on them, because like you can just buy them straight up. You don't even have you don't even have to like earn them. And there was a streamer notably that dropped $100.
Oh wow!
This man dropped $100 and proceeded to drop a 40 like an almost 40 bomb on his next game. So 40 kills, and if that's not enough, 40 kills on a MOBA without going back to base. Like he just 40 kills. Never went back, never healed up, nothing, like just 40 kills with the $100 of worth of items that he spent on.
Yeah.
Like that is disgusting. It's insane. Like MOBAs, the reason why they're so fun is because like champions have different kits, right? You have different items to spec into as the game progresses, but like to start out in just like this godlike stage and just roll over the opposition, like what's the fun in that?
You should also mention that MOBAs are also generally more competitive because everyone starts at a certain point that we're all equal, right?
Yeah,
Dota,
right, exactly. And that's why like there's so many like ways to level, like so different ways to level. Jungling, you know, there's laning, yada yada, so on and so forth, right? There's so many layers to like freezing waves or how to farm under towers, you know, so on and so forth. And when's the best time to gank, like so you don't lose on that jungle experience, right? Like MOBAs in general are really, really complex and in depth, and like Bad Rice said, is because everybody starts at level 1.
Mhm.
And like just making it like this pay to win, it just doesn't start. It feels disgusting. Like honestly, it feels like a slap to the face to those people that just want to play for fun, right?
Yeah, I mean, like this is actually why or part of the reason why Riot did end up removing runes from League of Legends anyway, because it did produce like that same kind of feeling that if you didn't have your rune page completed out and you have like a couple of them already for a couple of champs, right, you were behind from the get-go.
Wow.
From level 1, right, you were already behind.
Yeah.
Especially if you're free to play and you wanted to like play some champs, maybe have like a half-done rune page.
Yeah.
You go up against someone and they have a fully stacked rune page with like the best runes in it and shit. Like you're already behind. You are just screwed. It's all over.
And I do want to point out though that in League of Legends, now that they're moved on to like a free to play model, realistically all you have to buy is the cosmetics, right? Like sure, there's like 100 some champions in the roster, whatever, right? Like you eventually have to buy your favorites and try them out, yada yada, so forth and so forth. That's why the free champion rotation is in there and stuff like that, right? But what irks me the most is that games like League of Legends, the games like MOBAs, the two big ones are League of Legends and Dota, and those games they don't have a cap to how much you can earn per match. They even like help you out with like dailies and stuff like that nowadays, right? To how much like free currency you can earn to unlock the champions, because they understand they have a huge roster, so they gotta help out the players. Pokemon has a cap to how much you can earn first and foremost, and it's like it's super low. You get so little resources, and I think somebody did the math, and I think it's like close to like 20 hours or something like that, like 20 in-game hours to unlock one character.
So the grind is super real.
Each match is like 10 minutes max. So that's like 120 matches or something, right?
Something like that. Something crazy. Something like stupid, like unrealistic. Like I think you actually can't hit it with the weekly cap. You just can't.
It's pretty dumb.
Is stupid, and then the reason for that is because they want to encourage players to pay for it, right?
Yeah, I mean, lots of mobile games do this thing, right? Where outside like the game, it'll have some sort of resource cap.
Yeah,
that encourages you to pay money. Whether it's like a stamina bar that when it runs out, you can't do anything, and you gotta.
But that's on mobile games. That's like the discussion we're having on mobile games, right? It's like there's a cap, and if you pay for it, you can just get rid of the cap, right? But
Is this game a mobile game?
No, it's a Switch game. It is coming out for PC. Like it's a MOBA. It's an actual. It's like they want to advertise it as something like League of Legends almost, right?
Do you gotta buy it?
No, it's free to play.
Okay,
free to play.
Yeah, big asterisk. Free to play.
Yeah, big asterisk on that one.
Let's go to Kazo here, because I mean, you didn't really play League of Legends, right? You've dabbled a bit in it.
A little bit, yeah.
So, what do you think of this kind of like mechanic? How do you feel if, I don't know, you pick up the brand new Street Fighter, brand new like Dragon Ball Fighters, right? And they get whenever you start a like match, your like opponent brings in 3 items that boost their like stats in some way, and they like pay to get there.
I mean,
good, bad.
I mean, coming up for mobile, by the way.
Okay, so yeah, just like what BLT said, yeah, mobile. Funny you mentioned that, Offbeat, because like Dragon Ball Fighters actually has a game mode that's kind of similar to that, Spence.
Okay.
That it's called like, I mean, that's the one that me and Thicc Churro played too as well when we do raid, right? where
Yeah.
you're like taking on like let's say later on down the road it gets better, harder and harder. But you know, you already have items and stuff like, let's say, extra regen or like extra damage.
but imagine if players
is-
could just buy like 100% increased damage.
And like you can just cheat on PC and get them all, so it doesn't even matter if you have those items. And plus, it's not in a competitive sense. You're using those to play against an AI, right?
Yeah,
You're just using
sure,
something. It's like a cheat. You're cheating against a game. You're not cheating against another player. Is the best way to put it, right?
Okay.
We're talking. You boot up Guilty Gear Strive. You match this one randomly, and they've got 10% increased damage.
10% increased damage, 20% cooldown, like less.
And they got
stun.
passive healing
Yeah.
on top of
And
that.
And like you've also got that, but at like 1% because you even upgrade your items all the way.
That's just messed up, man.
That's
you know,
what I'm saying.
it really oh my goodness, it gives me like PTSD of like, if you guys ever played the old King of Fighters, those bosses have that sort of ability where it's like they come back and have like unlimited supers, unlimited like regen, fast regen, and I'm like, yo, how? And then you get frustrated and you're like, yo, this is the worst ever. What am I doing this? I can't do that.
Those are bosses, right? Like
but this is for everything.
Supposed to be.
They're supposed to be
OP.
difficult to a degree.
Yeah, it's supposed to balance like that.
Man, why am I already triggered, man? That's it.
a human player, is always smarter than like their fake fighter AI. So they got to give it an edge, right? By giving it like weird buffs and shit.
Yeah.
Even the playing field, right?
But to answer your question, it's I can't do it. No, it defeats the whole purpose of like actually fine tuning. Like, where's the whole fun in that, and also where's the balance of actually trying to or fine tune, like how either pretty much make the balance between fun and competitive. How you can is man, I'm already tricky. I can't even think just because of like how the process is. Like, if you have another guy who literally paid hundreds of dollars to play, to go easy mode and just to like, all right, cool, have fun with it. This is what $100 gets you. But the only issue is like going back to like with Pokemon Unite though. Looking back at that though, I mean, I did notice the fact that like when I looked at who developed it, it was the one who did is Teamy Studios, who was also owned by Tencent, which also worked on games, who a lot of monetizing games, like COD Mobile, for instance, Arena Valor, another MOBA as well. So it's not their first rodeo.
Right.
Tencent owns League of Legends.
Wow, damn.
I mean, Tencent owns most things.
Yeah.
Well,
If we're gonna be honest here.
Valorant.
Yeah.
They don't own Valorant, to be fair.
But they
No.
will.
No, not yet. Riot is refusing
Dude, they
to
will,
sell.
dude. It's because that's because Riot's still driving up the price tag, once it gets big enough, dude, they're selling it.
Oh man.
You know what? It could happen.
It could happen.
Damn. And then out comes
see,
like
I'm gonna-
the microtransactions right there.
Yeah, I'm gonna play devil's advocate here, and I'm gonna say, you know what, it's not that bad. Honestly, I thought it was gonna be way worse, but I looked into it. I watched a video. I'm not sure if it's the same video that Churro watched, but it was Moist Critical. He did a little playthrough of this game, and he did.
That's the streamer I was talking about.
He did put the whole pay to win model to the like test. He dumped like, I don't know, $120 or something to get like 3 max out items, or like nearly max out items. And he was like 5v1ing like at their spawn,
Yeah.
just like annihilating them.
And that's not that bad, right?
So, I mean, that is bad, but the way that I see it, I guess, is that like, yes, it's pay to win, but it is a like permanent increase. You don't have to like keep paying.
Right.
Right? You like,
that
upgrade
you
your thing.
know of.
That I know of. I mean, I looked into it a bit. Maybe there's something I'm missing. But so, I mean, all I'm seeing is that this is a game that has a free trial that you then got to dump like $100-$200 in to get the full game, which, I mean, is not okay. It's a little bit crazy, but like, it's not the worst pay to win model that I've seen. To me, it's not that bad.
I mean,
Yeah.
like the way I see it though too, because I mean, like it's Pokemon for it's Pokemon. It's for the kids, right? I mean, it could be
It
for
is-
anyone
it
in
is
total.
for the kids.
But
And then-
I think that's the biggest issue, though.
that it's aimed at.
Yeah, it's aimed
for
at
kids.
kids. Yeah.
Right, but not
Kids
saying like
don't
they're gonna be
have the
playing the
concept
game
of
that
money, though.
consistently though. It's not like, oh my goodness, this is the only game I have offered to me though. No, there's other free to play games. You already have Fortnite. You have freaking anything on the Switch that provides like the free to play model. So let's say, all right, my friend's playing this one. Chances are, then later on, let's say down the road, they're like, all right, we have a new Pokemon shooter. I'm just saying, putting out on the spot. It's a free to play
Yeah.
shooter. Okay, now they go to the next one. Anyone who's still staying is the ones who's literally playing it competitive and trying to pretty much keep the community alive into a sense.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and I mean, and those players are gonna just like shell out the money anyway.
Yeah.
It's like, you know,
Yeah, I mean, I guess I don't know. For
And,
me,
like-
with MOBAs, it just always rubs me the wrong way, where somebody gets an advantage just for paying or even like playing more than someone else, right? Like I really enjoy that League of Legends went towards like the rune system rather than
Yeah.
like the whatever the fuck they were.
yeah,
they used to be
sorry, went to
And now-
Masters instead of runes.
Yeah, right. Sorry, went to masteries instead of runes, because like I started out as a player. I didn't fucking know what the fuck runes were to begin with, right? And you had to learn all that, and that's part of the game, sure. But it took me a while to get like fully decked out. It's like, oh, now I gotta buy runes for Draven. Now I gotta buy runes for Darius. Now I gotta buy runes for this champion, right? Like, it is a pain in the ass, and like, yes, people that are willing to put the work, all the power to you, but when there's a cap to it, when they're actively trying to force you into the pay to win model, that's my biggest concern.
I just see it as like their like free trial. It's like, okay, you've played the game, you've got a feel for it. If you want to play the real game, like the real stats, you gotta pay it. Or like, if you want, you can grind it out. That's an option. It's not going to be fun. It's not going to be easy. But if you really want to be like free to play, you go for it.
Yeah. At least they kind of give it like
Otherwise,
an option.
it's like, hey, $100, game's unlocked. You have the game now. Because I mean, you see some games like I think my dad plays like World of Tanks or like World of Warships or some bullshit, and those games have some nasty pay to win elements where you can buy like golden ammo so that your shots deal more damage. But of course, it gets used up. So you gotta keep buying it,
Oh my goodness.
right? At least here, you can max out your item or whatever, right? You can rank your shit to level 30, and then it's done. For now, I mean, asterisks. Maybe they change it and it gets, they make it worse.
They might even
But at
add
least-
more items
Yeah,
that
and
you
they
have
could.
to level, and they're better.
Yeah, and then you gotta just like pay your sub. Maybe this is just a subscription based game. You just gotta pay
But
your
it's
sub every
not.
couple months for any like new item that comes out.
But that's the thing, if it was a subscription
season pass.
game, you should just pay a subscription, right? It's masking that under
Yeah.
under this pay to win model that shouldn't exist. That doesn't make it okay in my mind.
Like, in my opinion, I think the Pokemon IP is big enough, right? Like, you could literally do the same thing that Riot does. It's like, you can either choose to buy the champions with real money, or you can grind them out for a week or so, right? And you get one champion, whatever. But I think the Pokemon IP, like, you don't have to implement something like this. You can just make skins, right? Like, you can be like, hey, guess what? We have a shiny version of Gengar for $20, right? If you want it, cool. If you don't, whatever, go play.
Yeah.
Right, like that could be a thing. Like, there's like Aloha versions of Pokemons as well. So like, there's different ways to take it, right? Like, they could have just added skins to the game. They could have added, I don't know, other elements to it, right? It just didn't have to be. I don't know. Like, adding permanent buffs and stuff to your characters just feels very. It just doesn't feel like it's in the spirit of the game.
I just see it as like, if you're a like hardcore into this game, and you want to play it like competitively, you're gonna shell out the money, and everyone else in the game is also gonna have shell out the money in your matches, right? Because you're all trying to play. super competitive and shit. And then you're all just like on the even playing field again. You know, because like if once like you and all your friends and your like teammates and you get into a certain elo, I don't know if this game has ranked or if it does ranked matchmaking or whatever, but if it does, I mean you will get to a point where you and everyone else in the lobby all has maxed out items, whether they paid for it or not, and you're on the same even playing field again. Like it's like
kind of reminds me of like in that sort of sense where it's like, let's say the ones who trying to actually there's another story like that I want to diverge on, like the fact that there was PUBG when they were playing, everyone was like, you know, hacking in between, so they move all the hackers into one area, and then had them play against each other for that reason though. I was thinking like in a sense is like to better, like let's say foresee like the possibility of like of the future for like Pokemon Unite, they should just like have all the people who already bought the, like say all the stuff,
they could just as easily
move them to
make you based on like the level of your items.
There you go.
So that everyone who has maxed out items will play against will like play against other people that have maxed out items. People who have level 3 items will play against people that also have level 3 items, and it's like whatever.
That's the thing. People would just not level their items and just play against weak people. Like the entire system is meant so that it's rewarding, that you paid money for it and you feel better. You know.
Like, hey, if you don't level your items, you'll play against people that also have not leveled their items, and then.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. If that's not the case. But if it was, I'd be more okay with it.
Right, and I just want to clear up. I mean, this game, like, sure, Pokemon as an IP is like marketed towards children, but it's not completely marketed towards kids, right? They like they know their player base. They know that there's a large portion of people who bought Pokemon Red, bought Pokemon Gold and Silver and shit right back in the day,
right on,
and they're still into Pokemon today, right? I mean, that's why you see fucking Pikachu and Charizard and Snorlax and like Venusaur and like Mr. Mime and all these like old classics, because it's got the like nostalgia factor, right? Those like old players, and I mean they've got the money, right? There's some 30-year-old who's super into Pokemon and they like MOBAs and they like see this and they have no problem dropping $200. It's just like whatever.
All that adult money gotta go somewhere, man.
Gotta go somewhere. I mean, whales are gonna whale. Right.
All right. I guess. Do we know anyone who has actually played this game?
I haven't played it.
I know someone who played this game, and they spent like 10 hours, and they were trying to assure me it wasn't pay to win. Oh, really? Like, yeah, it's not too bad. Yeah, so they were trying to they were trying to convince me it wasn't pay to win. He's like, yeah, I've played for like 3 days, and I've done probably put like 12 hours into it, and I got like I'm almost at level 10. Like I'm almost there at max level. And I had to let him know that the max level is actually 30.
Yeah. Yeah. See,
so,
my one problem with this game, from what I've seen, because I mean I haven't played it, so I don't know the ins and outs. But from what I've seen, it doesn't show you what items your opponents have. So that's actually the part that I sort of have issues with, like the model, is because if you don't know if your opponents are pay to win, it's always going to lurk in your mind whether you lost a team fight because somebody had like a max out item and you didn't.
Damn.
And that's going to push you to go buy stuff. And then even when you have your max out item and then you still lose, you're thinking like, maybe they have a different one that I'm not using that I need to go and pick up instead. So you pick up a new one, you max that one out. So that kind of like secret ambiance of like, am I losing to like maxed out stats or am I just worse? Because I mean, we've all played League, we've all played Valorant. Nobody likes admitting that they're bad. They always want to blame something else. And this gives a really easy outlet to be like, oh, I'm not bad. This person just maxed their items and I didn't. So I mean, that seems suspicious to me, where it's like you bring in these 3 passives and then someone just like dunks the floor with you and you're thinking, is it because they had like maxed out crit with their fucking secret item or bullshit? You know, like,
jeez,
there's no way to tell. And that seems weird, just because of like what it like leads your mind to when you're like unsure of what your opponent's doing with
The question is,
their money, I guess.
was that by design? You know, 'Cause
Maybe.
when you're making a game like this, it like we say Nintendo hasn't been bad for that, but Pokemon Go is one great example of like, you know, essentially being a really pay-to-win system. Like, you know how people have to spend money on Pokeballs, these fucking stupid fruit things, these eggs.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
there's so much in it that is just intended to be pay-to-win. And like, I will 100% sit on the mindset, and I will refuse to change it, that if you're making a game that has any competitive aspect, all purchases, all revenue needs to be cosmetic at most. There's no other reason. It all has to be cosmetic, which is like something that even bugs me with like games like, let's say, like League, for example, or like Valorant. Like, at least Valorant gives you like 2 agents or at the start, and in League, like, I don't know if you guys have started a new League account as of recent, but they give you 4 or 5 characters to start.
Well, that's
So
pretty
they give you characters now,
Nice.
and some of the characters are so cheap you can unlock like 2 of them.
That's true.
After 1 level, like
That's very true. Dota and League do that, where they price their characters out. They're free.
yeah.
Is it Dota? Aren't the characters just like free?
Are they?
I
Yeah.
think in Dota, all
Yeah.
the characters are free from.
Oh,
yeah,
look at
all
that.
the characters are unlocked at the start, and it's only skins that you can get
Yeah,
on
only
Dota.
cosmetics. Yeah.
Yeah, so like I think
The
that's the
ultimate
model.
free-to-play model. Yeah.
I think that is the most morally aligned free-to-play model.
The more, yeah, the most lawful good model. Yeah, but
and
I will.
like games like those still make a lot of money.
They do.
Yeah.
So
I mean, you see some of the prices of the like secondary market of these like Dota like rare like skins and shit. I mean, some of that shit's selling for like hundreds of bucks for
yeah.
like a weapon skin on one character. So it's not even like an entire skin. It just is like just their weapon.
Mm-hmm.
But granted,
But,
that doesn't do anything for you in the game. It's
Yeah.
like only $1 or $2 sometimes for some of those stuff that you're trying to upgrade or change.
Yeah, but I'm gonna tie back into something that Bad Rice said, is that in we're talking about how you don't want any pay to win in a like competitive game. What if this game isn't meant to be competitive?
It never is though. With Nintendo,
Nintendo
right?
has a history of hating on competitive games. You know, Smash isn't a competitive game, right? It's a party game. What if they're like, oh, this is also a party game, so who gives a shit? You know?
I mean, yeah, I guess.
But then
They
why
could
is the
have
only way that you can play it really is to queue up against people online? You can't even like
Because it's a
custom
party
lobby.
game. Hey,
So-
what, you're gonna like test your party by yourself?
So what if you're playing
How
Mario?
many parties do you test by
Ultimate
yourself?
party game, okay? The ultimate party game, Mario Party, okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
What if you're playing and some dude just spent like fucking $5? Like, you're just playing online with some people and you're like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna play, try to unlock a few things, and then homie fucking Yoshi like drops his fucking wallet, pulls out a big die, it only has 10s on it, he hits the star, and then he steals your star and he shits on you, and then at the very end he writes GG easy. Like, that doesn't make any sense. That's logically
does this
flawed.
game have text chat? Does it have voice chat?
Ooh, that's a good
No, I
question.
don't think so.
It does. So no GG easy. Just,
So,
Well,
just some
Nintendo-
girls
maybe an
having
emoji.
party Pokemon fun.
maybe an emoji or something, you know? Like, gotta be something
Yeah.
simpler.
Nice shot.
Yeah, right? All the good stuff.
Spam nice shot like in Rocket League.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well played. Well played.
So I mean, I don't know.
I think it's just a morally terrible game, and like Nintendo or the Pokemon company is just like clearly greedy, and you know, switching to this model is just a sign that they're probably going to come out with more games that are just meant to be predatory towards like children and adults who don't have an understanding of how much money they're capable of spending, and I don't like it. I think like gotcha should never have existed. And the best example I can give is someone I met recently. He's around 26 to 29 or something.
Okay.
And we were talking about Valorant versus Genshin Impact,
Oh my goodness.
and it was suggested to him, hey, you could spend $20 and have the skin on, Valorant. And he's like, or I could spend $100, including that $20, on Genshin Impact and unlock content and mechanics and things I can do. And if you don't know, Genshin is just a gotcha fucking game. Disguised as an MMO. Yeah. So like, it's that mindset that they're preying on. These people think they're getting more gameplay, when in reality, they're just fucking getting scammed, and they don't understand the entire concept of in a competitive game like Valorant, when you spend money and you get that skin, it does nothing for you except maybe pump your ego up a bit that your gun's red and you can spin it around sometimes.
I mean, did you really expect this game to become the next esport? I think it's gonna come deeper on the league,
but at the same time, it shouldn't be this way.
But shouldn't be preying upon children. That's just the core baseline that we have here. It's just we don't care that okay, if this game came out and it was, let's say, a more mature genre. Let's say it's what's something that involves fucking monsters and is more mature. Monster Hunter. If this is Monster Hunter,
Okay.
and it was just monsters and it had this similar model, I'd be like, yeah, okay, that's just another fucking pay to win MOBA. No one's gonna play it because what fucking bunch of fucking losers, right? And then fucking the fact that it's Pokemon is what is the problem here. It's a more childish theme, a childish game, and yeah, there are 30-year-olds that play this game, but there are still kids that want to play this game, right? Because it's Pokemon, because it's their cherished enjoyment.
Yeah.
Their first Pokemon game was what? Pokemon fucking Pearl White or some shit,
White
And,
Pearl and Black Diamond.
Yeah. That was their first Pokemon game. They're like, yeah, I'm gonna go play a MOBA game, and then they get into it, and it's like, hey, you gotta spend fucking money to compete, or you can put in fucking 30 hours of your life into fucking doing this, And they also don't show you what the max level is. I don't know if you know that.
No.
Yeah. I mean, it baits you into thinking that 20 is the max level. It shows you 5, 10, 20.
Oh,
But it is actually 30. It goes up to 30 for some reason.
Yeah. So stuff like that, and then you're looking at the percentages too. You gain something 20% almost cooldown reduction, and if you've ever played a MOBA, something like that is not okay. That is a lot. It seems like not a lot, but when it's 20% plus some other stats, that's a lot of
People have gotten angrier about items that you can buy in the game, items that give you 20% cooldown reduction because it's too overpowered, right? And items are supposed to be in the game. They're supposed to help you boost your stats as the game progresses.
Right.
But people have gotten mad at items that give you 20% CDR.
All right. So I mean, brought a little bit out of proportion here. It's actually 3%.
No, it can be 4.4 at level 20.
I'm seeing 3% at level 20.
Are we looking at the Pokemon? No, because you can do 4.4. So there's a soda, right?
Maybe if you combine some items, maybe
4.4% with a 6% increase for gathering Eos energy. You can increase your special attack damage from 1.6 to 16, and that Shell Bell additionally adds another 3% additional cooldown reduction at level 20, and that's level 20 by the way. It goes to level 30, right? Heals the attacker's HP when a special attack hits a target. Then there's Wise Glasses, which increases the special attack from 10 to 30 when you hit level 20, plus the level 30 bonus. Special attack percentage. This is a lot. This isn't a little.
That's crazy.
And I'm gonna see if I can figure out the highest,
the
most
optimal
OP
build.
stuff. Yeah. I'll find it for you because I know if you watch Moist Critical, right?
Yeah.
He made a full crit build on Gengar with the CDR build, and he could cast non-stop and be invulnerable for up to 5 seconds of just non-stop damage. And he was using that. That's the game where he got 50 kills, didn't go back once, right?
Jeez.
Like, come on, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, yeah, if you get, like, the Rocky helmet and the assault vest and the experience share all combined, you're getting an extra, like, 250 times 3, 750 health. Which, like, seems like quite a bit. You're getting an extra, like 60 defense or so.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Ultimately, I think that's where I'm at with all of this. It's just it can't be this way.
Yeah, it is bad.
Right, like if they had a better free-to-play system, you know what, whatever. Right, like people can catch up eventually, but like currently the way it is like you gotta invest, like you gotta really invest into this game, and not just like in the sense that like, oh hey, you know, like I have a free weekend, I'm gonna play all weekends. Like no, because there is a cap to what you can earn every day. So it's not even like you gotta invest time into it. You gotta dedicate time of your day every day if you want to get to where people just spend money on it.
Jeez.
Yeah, at
I
least
mean,
League doesn't limit you when you're
You
level.
could also argue that the limiter is to discourage people from playing like too long.
That kind of makes sense too, because like even
hear me out. If there was no limit, right, and you had someone like that just wanted to grind out their max level Rocky helmet or whatever, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and this game's marketed towards kids, right? Like you guys are saying, you're gonna have some kid who's gonna be playing it at every waking moment. They're gonna be addicted to it, right?
Yeah.
Because there's no cap. They're like, every minute I'm not playing, I've wasted time that I could have been getting my fucking level 30.
But at the same time, if it was to discourage people, why do you even put it up on the store then?
Here's a counterpoint, by the way.
To be like, hey.
Is it to discourage them from playing more, or is it to encourage them to pay? You get what I'm saying? Because
it could be both.
Spiel that you just gave me is exactly what every mobile game says.
You
exactly word for word.
You can still play every day, literally you can play 24/7,
Mm-hmm.
but you just won't earn rewards after a certain point.
That's what I mean, right? That
let me ask you this question, Derek. Do you time travel in Animal Crossing?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
never done it.
Derek's a legit player.
Neither.
It's just.
I got into Animal Crossing too, and I don't do that either.
You play honestly over here.
I don't I don't do that.
It's just the dumbest mechanic ever. Like why? I don't know.
Like
personally, I hate systems like these.
Basically, okay. Now that we've kind of gotten through the fact that it's basically a mobile game,
it's a
in disguise. It's a mobile game in disguise. You literally also gave the same spiel that people gave for like resource management for their mobile games. They're like, you have only 60 energy, and you have to wait 15 minutes for another 10 energy. You know, kind of stuff like that. About the game sucks. I watched it. It sucks. You literally go. You fight like jungle creep, and like there's no waves. There's no like resource management. No towers. You're just going in, and then sometimes you just find an enemy. You kill them if you like. Killed enough fucking jungle creep and you killed enough fucking people, then you go up to those hoops and you hold one button to dunk it in.
It's just hoop, dude.
Wait,
it's basketball shit.
It's a basketball game already. MOBA sports game.
Someone who only understands how to play fucking basketball, and they're like, here's Pokemon game, make it fun. He's like, yo, I got the best fucking shit for you right here. What do kids want to do? They want to dunk with Pokemon.
But with that out of the way, let's move on from one pay-to-win model to the next pay-to-win model. Because we're talking a lot about pay-to-win shit.
Yeah, let's move on to a game that is maybe the savior of pay-to-win models and free-to-play. We're talking the FIFA killer, eFootball, formerly known as PES, or
Pro Evolution Soccer.
PES or Winning 11 in Japan.
Don't confuse it with PES, the game where you're a guy with a little hat and you traverse through isometric puzzles. That's not about that. We're talking about football, baby.
Or soccer.
I mean, I don't care about football.
Or soccer.
But, 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 Soccer, yeah, soccer, football. I don't know where you're from. I'm sure if we have any European fans, they'll be cursing our name, calling it soccer, using the dirty word for it. But yeah, I mean, coming out from Konami, a fully free-to-play football game that will be a ongoing digital service. No yearly release. I don't know. Throw it back to Churro once again, because I mean, he's been a big FIFA fan for a while. Is this the FIFA killer?
Dude, I really hope so. I legitimately really hope so. Because it's ridiculous, dude. It's a yearly scam. It's honestly a yearly scam, and like we're not talking like $100 like in Pokemon. Like this is the worst pay to win model I've seen personally. Like the FIFA.
Yeah, because you got to pay 60 for the game, plus then you got to unlock shit with more money in the game, right?
A 60 US. Like this, it's 80
US.
Canadian.
Yeah, 80 Canadian.
Like you gotta pay for the game first and foremost, and then if you really want the best team like out of the gate, that's like at least $400-$500. I've seen streams where people drop like $1,000 in this game.
No way.
Right? Yeah, like straight up $1,000 to get all the icons,
Oh
the
goodness.
Ronaldos, the Messis. It is
Gotta
like,
get those Messies, dude.
it's insane, dude. It's so insane how willing people are to support this. And
Okay.
like I get it. I absolutely get it. It's super fun to build your own team and being like, hey, I got the superstars, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like you're gonna do it again next year, right? Like
Yeah.
that's.
You're gonna buy another $80 game, drop another $1,000
Exactly.
to
It's
rebuy
absolutely
your roster.
Yeah, it's absolutely garbage. And I was talking to a couple of friends about this because I'm a big soccer fan, and specifically Sam. You guys know Sam. He and I played FIFA 18 and 21, like the most recent ones we played, right? And then we were like, or not 21, sorry, 19, I don't know, 20, I don't know. We skipped a year somewhere in between. But it's
all
the same thing. Yeah, it's all the same game. That's what I mean. Like you could buy one and be okay for a decade.
Yeah.
And that's the problem, right? It's the same old game, and there's no real competition. You either have FIFA and you have Pro Evolution Soccer, which historically it's been underwhelming, right? But now they got brand new, like they rebuilt the engine from the ground up, which is super exciting first and foremost because last year FIFA literally released FIFA 21. It was literally a carbon copy of FIFA 20.
Right.
When he says carbon copy, by the way, like usually they try to hide it to a degree. They're like, oh yeah, check it out. We have like, new graphics.
Physics.
We have like, a new like players or audience like physics or stuff like that. No, this time it was literally the same game, menu all the way to the very end with new players.
Oh, just
a
a roster
new
change.
player stats, like tweaks, like the fucking patch notes.
Basically, it's so shameless. It's disgusting, and I really hope, from what I've read so far about eFootball, the roadmap looks amazing. I'm absolutely ecstatic to play it from day one. Crossplay is a big thing that I've been wanting for a long time because I am most comfortable playing on my computer, and unfortunately, FIFA is more popular on the consoles, right?
Right.
So it's like if I don't have a console and I don't have FIFA on it, like. No, I'm not playing with anyone, right? Like realistically, it was super hard to find matches online, and I was only playing with Sam, basically.
Yeah.
Have you seen the roadmap to that? To eFootball?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
basically, what it is, it's they're gonna release I think local matches alongside same platforms matches.
Right.
So like Xbox One and Xbox 360 can play together, PS4 and PS5 can play together, PC can play together.
That's cool.
And then they'll eventually be releasing crossplay, and then eventually they'll be releasing like the make your own team, right? Like the whole spiel, which
Wow.
I think
Yeah, the team builder and all that.
yeah, which is gonna be super fantastic. And like part of the fun, don't get me wrong, part of the fun of making your own team is starting from zero. So I really do hope like every season is there's like somewhat of a reset, right? Like similarly to how League of Legends does things is like I think it would be fantastic if those that finish in Challenger get like the player of the season, right? Like they just get them.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
And I think it'd be super cool. I was bouncing ideas, and I just think it'd be super cool to be like, like I think back on 2002, that Brazil had the golden team. Think back 2010, Spain had the golden team, and right now the golden team is Belgium or France. They both have extremely extraordinary talented players in their roster, and it'd be really, really cool, years down the line to be like, hey, check it out. I have 2002, I have 2021 Messi. I have 2021 Mbappe, right? Like I have the stats of that year.
Wow.
Like that'd be really cool to have, right?
So you want them to do like the Dragon Ball Fighters thing, where you have like 10 copies of Goku in all his forms. You want all of Messi's forms.
I eat that up for breakfast, man. I love that shit.
Be like, dude, I want to play with like brand new rookie Messi. Like first game, I want those stats.
That'd be sick. That would be sick. But anyways, like it's super exciting,
dude.
It's super exciting that we're getting something that's just absolutely free to play with free updates. I think the monetization is gonna be like a Game Pass and some cosmetics here and there, but again, super stoked for this game. I really hope it just sweeps EA off the rug because they've been scamming people for far too long.
A quick question for you though. What's your thoughts on like the name itself, eFootball? Would you say like it's only catered towards like the Europeans and stuff, or is like let's say you would rather prefer, let's say, if they obviously it's free to play for everyone, but then to Americans be like, hey, why not just eSoccer or something totally?
I mean, let me put it into perspective for you, right? Like, football is football in anywhere but North America.
Fair. Of course.
Why would you call it eSoccer, right?
I mean, it's also like a European sport, like really,
right? Of course,
it's not like you have fucking America coming and competing in like the World Cup and like doing well, right? That's like a Europe thing. So, yeah. I mean, it would feel weird, I think, to try to market it to North America when like Europe is the like target audience, right? They're the big football fans. They're the ones going on riots and shit when their team loses, right?
Of course.
You don't see like I don't know.
Hey, Vancouver rioted when the Canucks lost. So,
but that's like hockey, though, right? Right? You don't see them trying to market hockey towards Europe, right? They market hockey towards Canada and the U.S.
Fair enough.
You don't really see like we have like, I don't know, the Russian team in our like NHL game. It's like, no, you have like the Flyers, you got the Canucks, you got the Tampa Bay. So I mean, I think it's fine calling it eFootball.
Yeah.
I think it's a little bit, I don't know, derivative, I guess. It just seems like a name that they would give it back when like email was big. Everything was like e something.
That's right.
So like that just feels like that. Like, oh, it's eFootball, esports.
It really is an esport though, right?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
It's just, I don't know. Feels a little bit like, hey, fellow kids, look at our e-soccer, look at our like e-football.
I mean, like, yeah, you can say whatever about the name, right? But at the end of the day,
not
like,
a big deal.
It's not a big deal, and also like FIFA is the football, I think Football Internacional Federación Association or something like that.
Right.
Something like that, right? And it's like that's the main, but like EA has rights to that, so calling it football, it's pretty smart, right? Like it's like you could literally call it anywhere, right? You can't call it FIFA. So
okay.
And I just want to address like the comment here made in chat real quick.
Sure.
saying that we're moving on to like the digital model, like the digital only model, like it's you can't find hard copies anymore. I just want to say that that's very true. We are moving towards that, and it's really hard to find like retro games these days. But at the same time, I like that we're moving towards that because it avoids the not finding the games, right? Like you'll be able to find them digitally.
Yeah, it does feel weird, but I mean, it felt weird when we all ditched like DVD home movies, right? It's like, dude,
Oh man.
who's really going to Walmart and buying a Blu-ray of some movie? Like, it doesn't really happen, right? That's been moved already to the like digital landscape,
Right.
and games are just like slowly getting there anyway.
Yeah, but Gerard, what's your take on it? Like I know you don't really play soccer, football, whatever.
Yeah.
But you do play 2K,
Yes.
right? Like you understand the yearly scam bullshit,
NBA.
Yes, I do. We all.
right? You
I mean,
understand how yeah, like those
Are
of
you
us that
looking
play
for
sports.
e-basketball? Is that
Yeah.
the next big thing?
bro. I mean, like, here's the thing though. It's like, okay,
Are you telling me that you don't like the lottery system that they included in NBA?
oh man, let me try.
Literal sloths.
Jeez. But I mean, like for this game itself, the eFootball and 2, I did look into it. I watched the trailer, and then also sent you about the FIFA 22 trailer too. And then people, I mean, looking back at it, actually, there was a lot of mixed responses from the eFootball comparison to, let's say, the the new FIFA 22. Not saying like any much, whatever they advertise is going to be any more better than what it was the last. If they're trying to like make, figuratively apologize to that point. We're like, you know what? I want to be better. Now the fact that they have a competition, they have to strive to actually be better, right? Like FIFA for that matter, if they want to stay in the game. But eFootball into itself, free to play, a full lineup of like crossplay. That's actually a game breaker right there. I would say right there. I mean, I'm even looking at it right now. It's like it cross-platform with iOS. I mean, it also has mobile mobile support as well too. So basically,
You do have to play with the controller though if you play mobile.
I just noticed that too. Actually, from I just screenshot it. I'm like, yeah,
Plug in a thing.
a touchscreen to itself. I was like, yeah,
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I see.
can't be in a traffic stop. Be like, yo, I'm sorry, I can't. I gotta make this penalty shot
Yeah.
right now. But like, I'm actually interested in this one. I mean, why not? I mean, it's free to play. It doesn't seem like, I don't know if I'll be scared to the point where it's like if it does lean to any sort of monetization right there. That's the thing. Any given moment, like I mean, aside from the fact that like obviously like if you want to get the game modes however you want it, you need to pay for it. But
Right.
to an extent,
But so far I'm optimistic, right? Because like
Right.
the monetization seems pretty good. Like it really does seem like very reasonable, very.
What is it? I'm out of the
Um,
loop on exactly how it works.
So I think exactly how it works right now, the way they're making it is kind of like I think you might get access to like a couple of European leagues. You might have to pay for like say the Mexican league, the MLS, right, kind of thing.
Right.
So like those are like kind of like DLCs.
Mhm.
And it's not like it's gonna be like a huge thing, right? Like it's like you pay once, you have them unlocked forever. And also there's gonna be game passes with like uniforms,
Right, cosmetics of some
cosmetics, yada yada yada, stadiums, so on and so forth, right? So like the game passes are gonna be a thing.
so pay whatever you want to pay for.
Basically, pay whatever you want to pay.
See, I mean, to me, looking back at, let's say, all the other FIFA games and stuff, how often are you going to play every game mode there is readily available, right? Like,
Yeah, right.
so, I mean, like, there are times it was like, I mean, even for me, when I played the old, like, NBA live games and stuff, the only thing we play is literally just, exhibition, just one-on-one, you and a friend and whatever, and just go at it. Like, we don't do franchise, we don't do, like, be a promo and stuff. It's just, like, pure one-on-one. So at least this
Yeah.
one is like, all right, I could be whatever I want, and then if I do appreciate the value of this game, you know what? Here's some extra money. Like, granted, as long as the matches are stable, the last thing we need to be like, as a laggy game into itself, and we're like, all right, I'm sorry, I can't play with you because eFootball. That's
Yeah.
it. So that's the thing. That's what I'm kind of worried about. But otherwise, I'm very optimistic about this one, though. If they do it for NBA, I mean, dude, 2K has been the staple of anything of like NBA, and haven't even made any attempt since like NBA Playground, which is like the NBA Jam equivalent, like the arcade games of
Right.
what's. And even then, that was like they were hella monetizing on that too. They were like, "Hey, you want more of this? Here, dish more, like gets more character or more players. You know, I need money just to keep the game fun and available." Same thing for 2K to itself. It's like they just don't listen to anybody else. Not even like the supporters, like the true fans of like the craft. So having some or sort of like other company would be beneficial to actually make the game stand out more, or at least with the fans of the sport.
Yeah.
Going back to like, let's say if you remember, there was a time when it was back to FIFA versus like Pro Evolution Soccer, or what was the other one too for NBA? It was NBA Live versus 2K, Madden versus anything 2K. It was just all that experiences, or like all the other companies trying to like make their game better than the other. So, I mean, this is a good game to actually pretty much market to all the fans, and this really pays homage. And I'm hoping the fact that like people will back this up because, well, shit, it's free to play. Can't go wrong.
Yeah.
Kind of
I mean, I'm surprised this didn't happen sooner. Because I mean, as Churro said, every year it's like a scam, right? It's the exact same fucking game coming out. Because I mean, back in the day, right, when you plugged in, I mean, what was the first FIFA for? Was it like for PS1 or something?
PS1, I believe. Yeah.
Right. So like back then, when we were still in like the early days of like video game technology and like digital display technology, right? There were reasonable steps to make at the next iteration, right?
Yeah.
There was like
no,
improved
absolutely.
graphics, improved controls. I remember at one of the NHL titles, they added like hockey stick control, right? Like now one of your like sticks controls your hockey sticks. Use some cool tricks with the puck and stuff. That was like a new thing. But I mean, eventually it got to a point, right, where like, what was there to innovate? The graphics were very good. They were very lifelike. The AI was about as good as they could get it. The control scheme and stuff was about all there, right? It's just like there was nothing new to add.
Yeah.
I feel like at that point they should have moved to this like some sort of continuous service subscription-based model at least. Because like I mean, with like what's the most recent one? FIFA 21.
Yeah, 22
right?
now, I guess.
22 now. I mean, difference between 21 22, Battery said it, there's like no difference. Even the menus are fucking the same. They've already also
They actually
perfected.
admitted to
So
that
there
they
you go.
didn't. They weren't going to upgrade anything.
I mean, either they were lazy or they figured that they've just like perfected the game. They're like, there's nothing more we can add to it, right? We have done all of our UI design and the UI is perfect, right? We've optimized the load times, yada, yada, yada. The only thing that changes now is like player stats, new players, because it's based off of real life, right?
Of course.
This franchise of games, there's no story mode, right? It's not like you buy Call of Duty, like you can buy it for the campaign because you want to experience the story, right?
Yeah.
This is literally just like a simulation based game. Same thing for like Forza and what's the Sony one?
Gran Turismo.
Gran Turismo, that's the one. Yeah, right. Those are all of these like sports games have evolved from the arcade space to the simulation space. This is a simulation of real football, and I think it is going to be the actual FIFA killer. I think this is going to blow up, as long as the engine and the gameplay isn't complete dog shit. Like as long as it's passable, right? If it's like just as good, or
I think it's made
a little
with
bit worse.
It's made with Unreal Engine 4 now.
Yeah.
So
And I mean, there probably is something to say about how because it's Konami and they don't and maybe they don't have a lot of experience making sports games. I mean, FIFA has been making these fucking games for.
I will say this, like Pro Evolution Soccer has done an outstanding job. So the fact that they went and redid the whole thing, it's super exciting because Konami has been at it since like PlayStation 1 as well, right?
Okay, so they do have experience then.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, they missed the VAR a couple times, right? But like they've had some great success in recent years. So like for them to go and remake the model, it's kind of like you ever just like play a game and you're like, all right, I learned the game, I'm gonna make a new character, and be better at the game, right? Like that's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah. But So I think just this free to play model is just going to like annihilate the FIFA franchise completely, because they should have done this like 4 years ago. They should have moved to the online constant update service, because I mean I'm sure FIFA loses customers every year who don't go out and buy the new game or the new console, right? They just keep playing their old one, right? Because they're like, well, I mean, there's lots of reasons. Maybe they're happy with their current purchase. Maybe they just like don't bother, right? Maybe they just forget to get it. There's a lot of reasons. But with this, you don't have to go and buy a new one. Every time you load it up, it's like the newest version of the game. And like with things like I mean we've all seen the success of the season pass model. Very, very good. Just like the entire, like conceptually, this seems like such an obvious choice. Like, what the fuck is FIFA doing? They just like are like sleeping at the wheel here.
I mean, that's the problem with EA though, right? Like, it just feels like a lot of the stuff is just shameless cash grabs.
Yeah.
At least it's like with the eFootball, it actually kind of feels like it's more catered towards like the actual supporters of like football into itself.
Yeah.
Where it's like, you know what, this does this justice. Because like even like you said, look, if they went back from the PS1 days, and even before it was actually Pro Evolution Soccer, it was actually called Winning 11, which is derivative from like from the Japanese games itself. Because it was, I remember I went to Chinatown in Calgary into itself looking for FIFA, and then they were like, "Yo, we only have Winning 11." I'm like, "What's a Winning 11?" This is basically what PES grew up to be,
has evolved
to what it is now. So it's like, and I mean, I did reviews into itself because I was like, there was a time when I was actually like kind of into like a soccer to itself, but I'm like, I mean, even though I was NBA, love NBA games into itself, but I'm always open for like new sports games to try out. So I find that like people were saying like, okay, FIFA is more arcadey, but PES is more has that more simulation base, but FIFA has the better face like and animations, but PES doesn't have like the license, but it already has like the great presentation. So it's a mixed bag of like which tailors to which one. It's which team are you on is what I'm saying. But again, eFootball, it is probably the FIFA killer, like Offbeat here says.
Yeah,
and I stand by it.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm not into these kind of games, but I mean, looking at the roadmap, I think it makes sense to me, and I can and if I was into these games, I think I would be super excited.
But what's great, Derek?
Yeah. It's free to play.
It's free to play. You can try it out.
I don't have to give up anything. I can just play it.
Yeah.
So I mean, just someone like me who just does not give a shit about any of these sports games. But this is a like no risk way for me to like try it out. And be like, maybe it's not so bad. Maybe it's pretty fun.
Mm-hmm.
But I know that Chad mentioned before the like team builders coming out in like autumn or so, right? I'm just like shooting ideas here because I know it's not like set in stone yet. But I think it would be cool if they adapted the kind of action RPG season model. So games like Diablo 3 or Path of Exile, where every season everybody resets, right? You just start from zero and then you got to race to the top again, right? I think that would be super cool. all these like player stats, like get like updates. What's currently happening. You build your dream team. You try to race to the like top, and then you get to see like the leaderboard of everyone else's dream teams and stuff. And then after like a couple of months, back to zero, do it all over again. Like that's the way to pull people in forever. So I mean, it's working for fucking Diablo 3. That game's dog shit. People are still playing it. Every season they're playing a couple months. They race to the top, and then they're
dog shit.
It's pretty dog shit. Their character gets like fucking deleted, basically, and they're like, whatever. Make a new one from ground zero and grind all that same loot all over again. Like it's a foolproof model. I feel like it's just hard to fuck this up. So I mean, Konami, don't screw this up. You can do it.
Yeah. So I know the fact that like off here you don't play sports games. Would you consider this anyways though? Like your first take on and be like, you know what, I need to try this out because
if they released a mode where you control one character and we needed to find 11 people.
Yeah, just have a full-on party with everybody.
So let me tell you, the surefire way to pull me into a new game.
Okay.
Is it free? Are my friends already playing it? Yeah. Do they need someone else to come play? I mean, that's gotten me many times. There's nothing to lose, and games are always more fun playing with your friends, even if you're all terrible. I've never been into sports games, but I still play them with my dad sometimes. We'll play NHL or whatever, right? Both of us are terrible at it, but we're having a blast, because we're playing with like your friends and stuff. Even though it's like a genre I don't really care about. I don't care about the players or their stats and shit. I know the basic rules of hockey, but I'm playing the game. I'm getting icing calls like every like as fast as possible. Literally icing call speed run like every round.
Icing call speed run. Let's go.
Yeah, and it's super fun. So I mean, I'll probably play this with like Churro at some point, and I'll be getting fouls and penalties.
Oh my goodness!
As fast as possible, just purposely kicking the ball like off the field, and it's gonna be a blast probably.
Speed run and red card, red card speed runs.
Totally.
Oh shoot!
I'm like, what? You can't tackle in this game? I can't just bash your dude? What the fuck? What do you think, Battery Rice? What do you think of this game?
I pretty much echo the exact sentiments. Like, it's going to be great for FIFA. It's going to be great for like all these soccer players. Hopefully, it promotes like you guys were saying, these sports companies who are making sports video games have been gotten a little too apathetic to their entire audience, and it just needs to change up. And this is the best way to go about it. It's competition. I'm still unsure how Konami managed to get the rights to do this. Like, I am very some Japanese companies calling, they want some FIFA rights, and FIFA was like, hell yeah, sure, we'll give it out to more people. Like, why not, right?
Japan's so like, hey, we want to make a football game. They're like, what?
Yeah, like that part is what caught me off guard. But hopefully, it's a good game. I do have some concerns. One, Konami is not well known for making games very fair and not pay to win. That's a little concern. I don't know if you guys know, but Konami kind of made Yu-Gi-Oh!
They did.
And Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links is pay to win as hell.
I mean, the trading card game, this is an area I know a bit about. I find it's a fucking nightmare.
Oh no.
Yeah. With the way that Konami handles it, where they'll recognize a card is busted, they will reprint it a whole bunch, and then they'll ban it. Like immediately afterwards. They'll be like, hey, everyone's after this card. We're gonna put it in this pre-made deck tin. So everyone buys all these decks, and they're like, "Okay, card's banned."
All right, everyone, get your Ultra Instinct Beckhams before they're sold out.
Yeah, let's go.
Oh my goodness.
But pretty much, I think it's gonna be great. I hope things look up, and greed isn't what takes over.
Yeah,
that's my only goal.
Yeah, this causes a global shift in the sports game market, where everyone is like, ah, shit, we gotta abandon scam 2023 now. We gotta actually try a little bit.
Yeah, that's a dream, but
yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we really can only see what happens, and that's all we can hope for.
Yeah,
that's all I have to say about it. Besides, Look for it,
Yeah.
rare Ronaldos.
Yeah.
Dude, the shiny Messies.
The
Shiny-
shiny Messi, dude. 4-star Messi.
The aura is real, man. In that. Love you,
Dude,
Bill.
just have a team of like every year's Messi. Just all Messi. Just, we got like 2000s Messi all the way up to 2021 Messi.
Yo, let's go.
That's the entire team. Just like
I want the-
20 years.
I want the Messi who like rejects water or rejects cola. Sorry,
Oh no, that was Ronaldo.
was that?
Ronaldo.
That was Ronaldo,
Yeah, the one he
yeah.
took the
He's
coke.
no
He's like, yo, I
coke
ain't about
drinker,
this.
Yeah. Yep. That was that's hilarious actually. Did you know
Yeah,
it like
I would
like
pay for
like
that.
Coke I think dropped like some crazy like 15% shares or something like that. It's
After
pretty
he was like,
insane.
nah, dude, I'm not drinking Coke.
Yeah.
Just that alone, just like taking
"Ah,
it off
shit,
from
I
the
can't drink
camera.
Coke now.
Yeah, just off the camera. I was like, all right, sorry, bam.
Yeah. Give you some
Everyone's
water,
affected.
dude. He's a true hydro homie right there.
Hydro
homie.
But
He
moving on to our
drinks Coke.
final topic tonight, we're gonna still talk about sports here. We're talking about the Olympics. What's going on? And to a surprise to most of us, they played a bunch of video game and anime shit in the opening ceremony. Who saw that coming? To start off, I mean, kind of unrelated. I am so thrown off that it's still called Tokyo 2020.
Yes.
I figured that it would be 2021. I thought they just but I guess they already committed to like the marketing material. I don't fucking know.
The logo is sick though. Like
It is. It
So-
does feel like a waste to throw that away. So I get why they kept it. But oh man. But yes, they played a bunch of game music and shit during the opening ceremony. Bad Rights, what do you think about that? Why do you think they did that?
Probably to attract some weebs to watching that shit because honestly, no one fucking cares. Like I asked people about the Olympics and they're like, "Is that going on right now?" I'm like, "Yeah." Did you see anything? They're like, "No," and I'm like, "All right, what's the fucking point of this shit anymore?" Like, we're just watching a bunch of athletes bone and get COVID. Great stuff.
I mean, you're not wrong. I also don't really care about the Olympics. I'm just they're happening, I guess. Hooray! I've caught it. Me and Kate have sometimes put it on in like the background. There's just like some ambient noise, and we'll look over and be like, "Oh, hey, there's some girls doing some fucking judo. Cool. They're throwing each other. That's neat." And then we look away again. But I thought it was cool that they added some or that they did some game music from games that I recognize also.
like which one?
And
Which
so
one?
the ones that I recognize was they played the Final Fantasy Victory theme, which I mean,
Yeah.
super cool, very fitting, super iconic. They played a Tales themes from, I believe, Tales of Zestiria. I believe they played a Kingdom Hearts song. They to my own from a game that was my game of the year that year. They played a song from Nier Automata.
Ooh.
Like, holy shit, dude, hell yeah! And so my theory is it's just kind of like the Olympics kind of reflecting the times. I mean, a lot of Olympians are like super young, right? Like, I think it was skateboarding where the person who won gold was 14 years old.
Wow.
Damn.
Like a literal baby. Like that is a child out there competing as like, hey, this is the best skateboarder in the world, and they're 14, right? And you see like a lot of gymnasts, they're like the 14 to 16 range, right? You get up to 18 and you're like too old for like fucking gymnastics. It's wild. And I mean, games are more of a mainstream thing than they have been in previous years. And I guess they're just playing songs that, I mean, like, the people want. So I'm into it. I mean, I think it's cool. I think it's just like the natural evolution of like the people competing, the people watching. Games is kind of part of the mainstream media, I guess.
If you had to choose one song, like out of like all the things considered, like as an
Just
opener,
any song.
I mean, like if you want them, let's say Team Canada rides in, and then you have the rights to choose a song for them, like anime or video game wise. What would you put?
Dude, let's.
I know I'm putting it hard on you, man. My bad.
I mean, I assume it's got to be instrumental because all of their songs were instrumental. I mean, except for like the Nier song, technically has lyrics.
I mean, they're just but they're just like they're athletes. They're just walking in, throwing their flag out, right?
Yeah.
So it's like not like saying, oh, copyright. It's like nah, everyone just rep their country pretty well for that song, and Team Canada, pop.
I mean, I would really like a Persona song, dude. Give me some Persona. Here. That would be. There's so many good ones to pick from like. I mean, I've only played Persona 3 and Persona 5. I haven't played 4 or like any of the old ones. But I mean, a lot of good Persona 3 songs, a lot of good, super hype Persona 5 songs. That would be, dude, I would be so hype if I was walking out as Olympian and they were like, never see it coming. I'm like, oh my god, you're never gonna see it coming, dude. Man, I'm actually looking at the list of songs here that they played, and they actually played Pro Evolution Soccer, the walk-on theme. So I mean, they played a song from a game that's not even technically out yet, which I think is super cool.
Already advertising, that's pretty dope, actually.
Yeah, I mean, it's already in there.
No, Pro Evolution Soccer is the series. They're changing it to eFootball.
Yeah.
eFootball.
Yeah, and it's also a very like innocent thing to do because I mean, a lot of this is just instrumental stuff. A lot of it just sounds very victorious and like bombastic, right? For your like walk-on thing. So I mean, like the people who aren't in the know aren't gonna care.
Yeah,
because it just sounds like some fun, cool shit.
Right.
They're not gonna be like, oh, what is this song from Call of Duty? This upsets me. Fucking no way. That's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
What do you think, Churro?
I mean, it's really cool. I think it'd be a missed opportunity if they didn't, right? Like, you think Japan, you think anime, almost.
Yeah.
Like hand to hand, and I think it's internationally known.
Yeah,
and it's cool. It's
yeah,
right, and it's cool that they embrace it like that, and they just put it out there, like, and if I had to pick, if I had to pick. Like
Assassin's Creed,
100%.
Assassin's Creed
on the 100-meter run. You say run.
Oh,
just
that'd be pretty good.
That'd be fucking good.
I actually can't believe no one's suggested Rock the Dragon.
Ooh,
Rock the Dragon.
I'm
during,
down
like
for that.
A hype moment.
Well, technically, there was no anime songs. It was all video game songs.
Oh, okay.
So it wasn't actually any anime. So I mean, maybe next year.
Maybe
next year.
Next year, I don't know if the Olympics are going to be held in Tokyo again.
No, but we'll have Winter Olympics somewhere.
Yeah, sure.
Where is it?
I don't know.
I mean, and it's gonna be next year.
That's right. Yeah.
And just to closing statement here, it's like, I care about the Olympics, some of them anyways. I love watching volleyball. Olympic volleyball is fucking hype.
For men or like for women, or
it
just
was
both?
Actually pretty hype.
For both men and women, or
for both and men and women.
Yeah, okay.
They're really fucking good.
Is it because like haiku type of thing, or is like the vibes and everything?
I liked volleyball before I watched haiku.
Ah,
see, I'm the opposite. Yeah. I'm watching it because of haiku.
There you go. You're looking for those surprise quick attacks and shit.
Yo, that was from like that one episode, yo.
I've seen that move before. Oh my god, dude, that spike was so fast.
Yo, some of the spikes in the fucking cross shots they do are nasty. The liberos are on like a different level. Yeah. Eric Shoji, actually kind of nutty. And I am cheering for like one Olympian, who's Canadian actually.
Beauty.
Beach volleyball player Sarah Pavin. I like watched her watch a few episodes of IQ, and it's just like it's clearly like watching a normally watched show. I watch like the reaction videos, but I'm just like, oh my god, like there's so much stuff I've learned from watching like a reaction video. Like not even like I feel like Haikyuu was just scratching just the surface, because like when people actually explain like proper hand posture, proper like positioning when you're actually going for a block, when you're trying to stuff out like a spike, like when you're actually learning that from like an Olympian, damn, that is some like next level shit.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
It's pretty cool. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Anyway.
No, yeah, definitely. To me, it just feels like this is just because of like the current age, right? Like people just forget that so many Olympians are so young. Like, I mean, maybe if some of you have seen that picture, I think of the American sharpshooter who had like the fucking Witcher like wolf emblem on like her belt hanging off it. Everyone's like, "Oh my god, dude, she's a Witcher fan. This is awesome." And I mean, these are people younger than us. I know. I mean, we're like some old fogies to these to most of these Olympians anyway, right? And I mean, they probably like video games. So, I mean, why not give them some music that they like? And yeah, Japan is known for pumping out a lot of good video games.
No.
I mean, there you go. It's a good mix.
I mean, like, oh my goodness! I remember when they introduced Japan as like the Summer Olympic like event, and then I believe it was what was that? I forgot who dressed up as Mario just came out of I don't know. Did someone cosplay as Mario? I believe if it was like the president or I mean the one, whoever it was. The point is, it was basically at that point foreshadowing to be like, you know what, there's going to be a lot of video game references coming out from Japan, and having to see like even from the people represented at for every country and stuff for different video games. That was pretty much one big, I guess, like video game fan space of like all the things that they wanted to experience for. However, if it was me, if I was up to, let's say, Team Canada rolling in rather than Rock the Dragon, I would put up the Victory Road from Pokemon.
Nice. That's
right?
a good one, actually. I like that one.
There you go, Shinzo Azabe. Thank you, Mr. BLT. Yeah.
As Mr. BLT mentioned, surprisingly, no Nintendo songs. I mean, is that because of what? Nintendo's stingy on their copyright? Like, what do you guys think? Why no Nintendo? Because I mean, Nintendo is like the big one from Japan, right? Like you got like Konami's pretty big, you got Sony's pretty big, but like Nintendo is the big one. So like, what's going on?
Maybe the Olympians didn't max the level on their gear, so they're not allowed to use it.
They didn't pay enough.
Nintendo does not support any competitive games.
That's right.
So
the Olympics aren't party enough,
The Olympics are literally like see who gets the fucking gold, right? They're not party games, man.
This is not a party game.
Yeah. Oh man, no Street Fighter music. Oh man, I'm sorry too. Yeah.
Imagine you make a game called Mario and Sonic in the Olympics, and then you don't sponsor the Olympics. And also, Toyota dropped from sponsoring the Olympics. Like, that's a huge one.
Toyota did?
Wow.
Yeah, because of the COVID shit.
Oh, really? Why?
Wow.
Well, they didn't want the bad press for supporting a Olympic, competition that had, like, COVID spread all around it. And right now, we're at, like, 70 fucking people 70 infected people at the current Olympics. One woman got raped.
What?
By some guy from Kazakhstan. You guys didn't hear about that?
No.
Yeah, some like manager or something from Kazakhstan attacked a woman.
That's some crazy shit.
The Olympic, the fucking, and then like because it's Japanese culture, right? They're like trying to like brush it under the rug and all that stuff.
No, shoot, that's crazy. But like, I mean. Japan. With the opening into itself, though, I kind of felt bad for like the Olympians trying to get mad hype and stuff when there's no fans or anything in attendance.
Yeah, so it does look weird. There's like some events where it seems less obvious, like in the like triathlon, because it's so long, right?
Right.
Everyone's kind of dispersed out. But yeah, did you watch like like badminton, and
That one's
dude,
pretty
there's, like,
epic.
no one in the stands, dude. It's just like
But how do you get hyped for that? You like you have that one, maybe the coach would be like, yeah, and then that's the only guy.
I mean, it is pretty hype. There was a pretty hype play, I think, today or yesterday.
Mhm.
That,
Oh,
was
the
pretty
impossible
wild.
save.
Yeah, dude, that was sick.
Dude,
I was
that
like,
was
holy
sick.
shit.
That was a hype moment.
I was here
Olympics are
for
fun
it.
to watch.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't really care for them, but yeah, there's some highlights that I do enjoy. I did watch, I think the Canadian girl get bronze in judo, and that was cool because it went into like a minute 30 into overtime, and you can tell that both these chicks are just like barely standing up. They're so tired, and yeah, she's like flips her over. I was like, oh my. What the fuck?
Yeah, dude. To those of you that haven't practiced any martial arts whatsoever, a minute is a long fucking
It's a
time to be
long
fighting.
time.
Yeah,
And this is like a minute 30 overtime. So they'd already
Yeah,
been fighting for I don't know how long. And
The
now
endurance
it's
is
like even
real.
longer. Oh,
Mhm.
and like no break. Just like
Yeah, just keep going. It's
Holy
brutal,
shit.
man.
Man, they've been trained
Yeah.
for this moment, man. That's it.
I guess so, huh? They
Right.
were, yeah. I
Because
mean,
like imagine,
that's
like,
the point, right?
because imagine, let's say you've been training for years, only to get knocked out, you know, and then you just missed the opportunity to get that bronze, and you're like, all right, here's a 14-hour flight home of like regret. It's
Yeah,
like,
dude. Let me tell you.
I mean that other girl, that's what she got, right? Like
That's
sure,
what I'm
Canadian-
saying. I'm thinking that fourth place is the worst place to get in the Olympics ever. Like even worse
Oh.
than dead last. Because it's like, dude, you were this close to being on the podium getting a medal, but now you're just the best of the worst people.
yeah, loser's side.
That's
That's it.
it's like Sasha feels bad. Like
Yeah.
holy shit. I
Like,
would
how do you-
never want to be there.
How do you like? Let's say you're going to commercials. Like, yeah, I'm fourth best in the world.
Right.
Where's the medal though? It's like, no. I'm fourth best.
Yeah, dude. It's like, oh, I made top 4. It's like,
Yeah.
so what'd you place? Top 4, baby.
Oh shit.
Oh my god. But unless anything, or unless anybody has anything else to add, I think that kind of wraps up our show here. Watch the Olympics. You know, it's fun. I guess you can support your country if you're into that. You get to see the best of the best play, which is pretty like neat. I'm still of the opinion that they should get one regular dude to compete in each event, so you have like a control group, so you can see exactly how good they are. You know.
The average Joes.
Yeah, I want to see some guy doing like the 200-meter like breaststroke against the best of the best, and just see how far behind he is by the end of it. You know, I want that like metric.
I want 2 different metrics. I want the control group and the out of control group. I want the guy who walks in and he's like smashing tables and it's like, bro, we gotta chill him on the roids. And it's like, no, we pump more roids into him. And then they send him off into like this fucking like swimming pool. He swims end to end, gets back and punches the fucking judge. Like, I want all that in my Olympics.
Yeah.
I mean, you had that in the Winter Olympics of 2018, and that's why Russia's not in this Olympics.
I mean,
Oh.
enough
they're not in it. They're still in it.
They can't represent their flag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're part of the Russian Olympic Committee or something.
Yeah, something like that.
So they're just like unknown squad, I guess at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I want to give a shout out to the Philippines because they got their first gold ever.
On what?
Yeah, weightlifting.
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 Oh,
It was pretty
right.
big. Everyone was like hyping in and
Yeah,
everything.
yeah,
I was like, oh
Their first
shoot.
gold medal ever in like I don't know something like some bullshit like 100 years of trying. They never got a single gold medal, and then this is it. Like imagine being that girl, being like, bitch, I got the first gold medal for my country ever in the history of time.
You
Like,
proud,
Pretty
G?
fucking metal.
I mean, to be honest with you, I wasn't really following like actually in terms of like what Philippines would stand though.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting much. I mean, none of us would
That's fair.
at this point though. Until this one, I'm like, all right, that's big news because like, hell, the only thing coming out, let's say sports wise, was Manny Pacquiao with boxing. So now we have something to be like put on a shelf table. Be like, you know what, this is we made it. We made it. Gold.
Yeah, it's
Just
just such
one,
a cool
just one.
story.
That was it.
Yeah, but I will say this. I think Philippines would have won a gold medal a long time ago, if they had esports on there, because we got the best Filipino fighter right here on this podcast.
Oh, that's right.
Shoo! All right. I see you.
When are we getting Dragon Ball Fighters in the Olympics? Huh?
Yeah,
Come
dude,
on.
right?
Oh,
G would take the gold every time.
Take the gold.
yeah. I was like,
But,
yo, just not even go Ichi. It's just me this time, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. And another fun tidbit about this Philippines win is that I guess when it comes to China and who they send to the Olympics, apparently they only send someone to compete in an event if they're certain they're gonna get gold. Like they don't send
Wow.
someone if they think that they'll get silver. Like it's
Holy
gold or
shit.
nothing basically. And they sent
That's
someone
crazy.
for weightlifting and they got beat out. Oh my god, it's just like it's so poetically awesome where it's just like a bitch. China couldn't beat the Philippines. They got their first gold medal ever. You guys suck. Cool.
Hell
That-
yeah.
Well, I could see that. Like, let's say one person. I mean, the fact that Philippines won gold, right? And then
Yeah.
the next Summer Olympics comes in. There's like a shitload of like competitors for like, yo, I want to be the best now. It's like
Yeah, right?
It's it's represent your country well, and that's it. I mean, like,
Huge.
think of it like, let's say, here's another good example. Basketball in this year's Olympics. USA was supposedly deemed like obviously catered to be like the best of the best, always
Yeah.
winning the first one, and they got knocked off in the first round against France.
Really? Oh my god.
And everybody be like, "Oh my goodness!" I was watching like the articles in between, and everyone's like, the players was blaming the coaches were blaming the players, everyone else is
Yeah.
blaming, pointing fingers at someone, and then there's like one person be like, "Where's the actual guys?" Because like, what's going on here? Everyone's like in a disarray. It was crazy. So, and then it just goes back to be like, all right, it doesn't beat the dream team from '92, so fuck off.
There are a few things better than a really good upset. In any competition, you love seeing the upsets where you're like, the number one team just gets knocked out immediately. You're like, oh my god, this is what's
Welcome
gonna happen next?
Back to losers bracket.
Yeah, back to losing bracket with you, dude. Try again next year. But so that wraps up our show. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm gonna pass off to Kazo to sign us out here.
Thank you, Alpha here. So, basically, thank you everyone, including my brothers, Thicc Churro, Bad Rice, and Alpha here for continuing their amazing support for providing their insight to like our FT podcast into itself. Thank you for everyone tuning in, especially like contributing on the chat, Mr. BLT, Double Fist Ninja, and also an even bigger shout out to Thicc Churro for subbing once again to another 5 months. Just keeps going, man. Keep the train rolling. That's amazing. Thank you for that.
Oh yeah.
As well as to our viewers. If you missed out for this episode, you're always welcome to check out like at least the VOD all the way back in YouTube at our Ichi Gaming. So that being said, though, I hope you pretty much support our this FT podcast into itself, and just stay tuned for future episodes with us. And if you want to continue to pretty much provide more insight, and always welcome to give us any suggestions, whether anime or video games or anything particular. We're always welcome to pretty much give our intake on that. So if you want to look out for more information, my name's Kazo. You can find me at Twitter, YouTube, Discord into itself, and also Twitch and Facebook under Ichi Gaming. Back to Thicc Churro. Where can we find you, sir?
Working.
And
Yeah, it's just.
The man's
I
crazy.
come home from work, I eat, and I go back to sleep, dude.
dang.
It's basically my life right now.
Much appreciated to you. This is like a blessing right now. Just like work, sleep, and afterwards Thursdays FT podcast.
Hell yeah, man.
Much appreciated. And Bad Rice, from an unknown place. Is that where we can find you?
Yep.
Alright. Good stuff, man. And last but not least, our MTG champion, Offbeat here. Where can we find you, sir?
You can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/offbeat_hero, where I sometimes stream Magic content. You can also find me on YouTube under Offbeat Hero. I don't have a custom URL yet. Apparently, you got to have like 100 subscribers on YouTube. You have a custom YouTube URL. So, I mean, if you haven't subbed, you can help me out. I think I'm at like 70 or 80 subs or something. So I mean,
Ooh, let's
another
go.
20, 30, and we can finally be youtube.com/like Aki or some bullshit.
Oh, that's a lot.
On my channel, you can find my new series friends list, which is just me dicking around with my friends in Valorant, just some casual fun games, a little less serious than my Magic stream like uploads, and that's where you can find me.
Awesome. Thank you for that. And as well, for those guys still tuning in here, you got nothing to fear when you're at the bottom, because there's no fear in F tier. Take care, guys. Peace.
Peace.
F tier is
Goodbye.
not a pay to win podcast.
Yet.